Why Wildflower won Song of the Year, the untold story that shocked the music industry. Welcome to Celeb TV. What makes a song transcend from mere entertainment to a cultural phenomenon that defines an entire generation? In February 2026, as the music world continues to buzz about one of the most surprising victories in recent award show history, the triumph of Wildflower as Song of the Year stands as a powerful reminder that authenticity always finds its audience. This wasn't just another awards ceremony moment. This was a seismic shift in how the industry recognizes and celebrates music that speaks to the human experience. The victory of Wildflower didn't happen overnight, and it certainly wasn't the product of calculated marketing strategies or industry manipulation. Instead, it was the result of a perfect storm of raw talent, impeccable timing, and a message that resonated with millions of people across the globe who were desperately searching for something real in an increasingly artificial world. The story behind why Wildflower won Song of the Year is not just about the song itself, but about what it represents in our current cultural moment and why its message mattered more than anyone could have predicted. The journey of Wildflower from a simple recording to Song of the Year winner began in the most unexpected way. Written during a period of personal reflection and social upheaval, the song captured something intangible that had been missing from mainstream music for far too long: genuine vulnerability paired with hope. The lyrics spoke directly to anyone who had ever felt overlooked, anyone who had struggled to find their place in a world that seemed designed to categorize and limit rather than celebrate individuality. What made Wildflower particularly powerful was its refusal to conform to the typical structure of contemporary hits. There were no forced drops, no overproduced vocals trying to mask authentic emotion, and no attempt to manufacture catchiness through repetition alone. Instead, the song unfolded like a conversation, like a friend sitting across from you sharing their deepest truths. The melody was hauntingly beautiful yet accessible, complex enough to reward repeated listening but simple enough that anyone could sing along after hearing it just once. Music critics initially weren't sure how to categorize Wildflower, which in retrospect became one of its greatest strengths. It existed in a space between genres, borrowing elements from folk, pop, indie rock, and even classical influences without fully committing to any single category. This genre-defying nature allowed the song to reach audiences who might never have discovered it if it had been boxed into a single radio format. If you're enjoying this deep dive into why Wildflower won Song of the Year, make sure to show your support by hitting that like button right now. Subscribe to Celeb TV so you never miss another story about the music and moments that shape our culture, and drop a comment below sharing the first time you heard Wildflower and what the song means to you personally. The commercial and critical trajectory of Wildflower defied every industry expectation and prediction model. When the song first debuted, streaming numbers were modest, and radio programmers weren't immediately convinced it would connect with mainstream audiences. But something remarkable happened that no algorithm could have predicted. People started sharing Wildflower organically, person to person, community to community, creating a grassroots movement that eventually became impossible to ignore. Social media platforms exploded with covers, tributes, and personal stories about how the song had impacted individual lives during difficult times. Parents shared it with their children as a lesson in resilience. Teachers played it in classrooms to spark discussions about identity and belonging. Therapists recommended it to patients working through complex emotions. The song transcended its status as mere entertainment and became a tool for healing, connection, and self-discovery. As Wildflower climbed charts around the world throughout 2025 and into early 2026, industry observers began to recognize they were witnessing something unprecedented. This wasn't a hit manufactured by a major label's marketing machine or pushed to success through playlist placement and influencer partnerships. This was a song succeeding purely on the strength of its message and the emotional chord it struck with real people living real lives. When awards season approached and Wildflower started accumulating nominations across every major ceremony, the conversation shifted from whether it would win to what its victory would represent for the future of the music industry. The night Wildflower won Song of the Year will be remembered as a turning point in music history, a moment when the industry collectively acknowledged that audiences are far more sophisticated and emotionally intelligent than they're often given credit for. The victory wasn't just about one song beating other worthy competitors. It was a statement that music with substance, music that challenges listeners to feel deeply and think critically, can and should be celebrated at the highest levels. In February 2026, as we reflect on why Wildflower won Song of the Year, we're really examining what we value in art and what we want music to be in our lives moving forward. Do we want perfectly polished products designed by committee to maximize streaming revenue, or do we want songs that take risks, that make us uncomfortable, that force us to confront emotions we'd rather avoid? The success of Wildflower suggests that audiences are choosing authenticity over perfection, substance over style, and lasting impact over temporary trends. This shift has enormous implications for emerging artists who have been told they need to compromise their vision to achieve commercial success. Wildflower proved that staying true to your artistic instincts, even when industry gatekeepers doubt you, can lead not just to critical acclaim but to the kind of cultural impact that defines careers and changes lives. The song's victory as Song of the Year validates every artist who has ever been told their music is too personal, too raw, too different to connect with mainstream audiences. It proves that the most universal messages often come from the most specific, personal places, and that listeners around the world are hungry for music that reflects the complexity of human experience rather than reducing it to simplistic formulas. Now we turn the conversation to you. Do you think the victory of Wildflower as Song of the Year signals a permanent shift in what kind of music gets recognized and celebrated, or was this a unique moment that won't necessarily change industry trends long term? Share your perspective in the comments section below.